You've heard James say it a million times. Respect the polygon. At Weather Call, we make the polygon better. We call, text, or email you so you'll always know when you're in danger. No matter who you are, there's a Weather Call solution right for you. Check us out at weathercallservices.com.
It's the morning weather briefing. This is for Thursday, the 9th of May. This is James Spann. Alabama's weather stays active today. We have one round of storms this morning, potential for another round of storms for parts of the state tonight into the pre-dawn hours tomorrow morning. But let's get right to the radar. We're live at 5:16 this morning. And as expected, that's your line of storms pushing into the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama. And so far, the storms have been relatively behaved. We note there is one severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Jackson County in extreme northeast Alabama. No tornado warnings, and we just don't expect any tornado activity with this line. And the overall severe weather threat is not that high. But understand, they're noisy, they're producing heavy amounts of rain and gusty winds. No doubt about that. But remember, the official definition of a storm, and we have to have a definition, and that's 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater, or 1-inch diameter hail or larger. And these storms are clearly below that level at this point. And they will be sagging southward, ultimately coming down toward Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Gadsden, around 8, 9 o'clock this morning, and they should be in a weakening phase at that point. So the greatest concern with the severe weather for the next 24 hours, not this, but additional storms that might form tonight and early tomorrow morning. And we'll take a look at all the new modeling here as we go, and we'll look back at some of the video from last night here in a few minutes. But this is the upper air look this morning. This is kind of what drives everything. And again, we have troughing north and west of the state. There's the radar composite showing that organized line of storms over North Mississippi and the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama that will be sagging southward this morning. It is a very balmy August-like morning. We've got 70s all across the state. In fact, Mobile at 80 at 4:30 this morning. That looks a lot like midsummer. So we've got tornado watches north of the state, but again, we just don't expect a problem with severe storms down here this morning. The main concern will come later today with the activity that will develop tonight and tomorrow morning. So we have a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk of severe storms, basically from Birmingham south. Areas in orange on that map. A level 2 out of 5 for much of the rest of the state. And really, we think the bigger issues with the development tonight will be south of Interstate 20. And it's somewhat of a conditional threat. Again, it depends on how the air recovers in the morning storms. Let's take a look at the tornado probabilistic outlook. And again, this is primarily for the activity tonight. And there's a low-end tornado threat here. And understand, the chance of a tornado is certainly not zero tonight. There could be an isolated tornado. But the main concern, the higher probabilities involve damaging straight-line wind. This is the probabilistic outlook for straight-line wind. And you can see that we have a hatched area south of Birmingham over the southern half of the state. In the red there, that means there is a 30 to 44% chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given point. That's a relatively high figure there. So again, if storms can get going tonight and early tomorrow, the main concern will be damaging straight line wind. But again, we stress there could be an isolated tornado. So again, we'll be watching the radar carefully as we always do this time of the year. And then tomorrow after 7 a.m., we have a low-end marginal risk for any leftover storms over South Alabama, and those should exit the state pretty quickly by mid-morning tomorrow as cool air pushes in. And then on day 3, which is Saturday, we're in a cool, dry air mass here. Beautiful day here. Got a marginal risk for a small part of West Texas. So here's a look at rain for the course of the next 7 days. And the numbers keep coming up. You can see now, and this, by the way, is valid through Thursday morning of next week, And this is suggesting that rain amounts could exceed 4 inches for parts of South Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. Maybe in some spots approaching 5 inches. In fact, this is showing Dothan with 5.8. And that's some very beneficial rain. And we'll certainly take that. For the northern half of the state, about 1 inch for the Tennessee Valley. And for places like Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, rain amounts there about 2 inches. And again, we say this a lot. You want to go into summer with some good soil moisture. And it certainly looks like if this can verify, that will be the case. And I do want to point out that there is a tornado watch in effect for North Alabama. I didn't get that graphic in the first batch here. It didn't show in that first graphic I showed just. So this is the tornado watch in effect for North Alabama. And again, we're just not overly concerned with tornadoes with this batch, but still, we have a tornado watch in effect as far south as Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Cullman, Marshall, and DeKalb County this morning, and points north. But again, we'll peek at the line, and you can see that it's just well behaved. If any storm can get going out ahead of that, we'll have to watch those carefully, any discrete cells. But again, so far things are linear, and the only warnings on the board at 522, severe thunderstorm warnings up there for parts of extreme eastern Jackson County and the northern part of DeKalb County up in northeast Alabama. But again, that's the tornado watch until 10 o'clock this morning. So model fans, let's look at the GFS. This is the 06Z run. This is valid today at 4 o'clock. And again, ridging over the Gulf, troughing to the north and west. And I think we'll see a break here. In fact, let's go right to the high-resolution modeling. This is the high-resolution HRRR valid at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And what's left of the morning storms are beginning to push out of the state over parts of east and southeast Alabama. And they could be fairly strong, but again, I'd say the severe weather potential relatively low. So this is this evening at 6 o'clock, and things look really quiet at that point. So again, for most of the state, I think the afternoon will be dry. And the question is, can the air recover from the morning storms, and can we see additional storms tonight? And certainly we can. Now, this is valid at 03Z. This is 10 o'clock tonight, and storms begin to form south of Interstate 20. And again, we'll be watching primarily for strong, damaging straight-line winds. But again, could there be an isolated tornado? Yes. But the greater concern, damaging straight-line wind. And then this is after midnight tonight. This is 5 a.m. tomorrow. And you can see that comma-shaped echo down in southeast Alabama. That would suggest potential for, maybe a high potential for damaging straight-line winds in that part of the state. Southeast Alabama, after midnight tonight, early tomorrow morning. And we've seen that feature consistently in this model, in the HRRR. So again, if you're in South Alabama, keep in mind after midnight tonight, early tomorrow morning. It might be a rude wake-up call with a chance of storms with damaging straight-line wind. And again, could there be an isolated tornado? Yes. And still some lingering rain up to Interstate 20, but that will not last long. And the sky should clear for the northern half of the state, becoming partly sunny. And the day will be noticeably cooler, with highs dropping back to near 80, maybe upper 70s. And then Saturday promises to be a beautiful day. Sunny, some of the colder pockets might be in the upper 40s. The high Saturday in the upper 70s for North Alabama, low 80s for the southern counties of the state. Sunday looks good. The high Sunday in low 80s in most spots. And then Monday, the moisture is back. And next week looks fairly unsettled. Got a surface low that's over Missouri. That represents a day with rain and thunderstorms likely. Tuesday, the rain begins to push out as a drier air mass works in here. And at this point, Wednesday looks dry. So it looks like we'll start off the day with a good chance of rain and thunderstorms Monday night, maybe Tuesday morning, then a dry day on Wednesday, and then this is Thursday. The next short wave comes along and more rain. And that could linger into Friday of next week. Let's keep going. We'll go out 10 days. This is Saturday, May 18th, a shortwave trough coming through here. And again, that looks wet. So, again, next week, almost every day, some chance of rain, although it looks like we might squeeze in a dry day on Wednesday. But again, that should bring some beneficial rain. Could there be some strong to severe storms along the way? It's possible, but it's too early to make a call on that. We'll watch trends as we get closer. Here's a look at rain for Birmingham. This is coming off the European ensemble. The mean up there really approaching 4 inches over the next 15 days. Between now and the 24th of May, temperatures off the national blend of models, we've got 87 today, and that's assuming the sun can break out this afternoon after the morning storms, and then we cool down with a high of 78 on Saturday. And again, Saturday morning, we could see some 40s for the colder pockets. This is showing 53, and this is for Birmingham. Next week, you can see Monday at 75. That's because of clouds and rain, and then mostly low 80s for the rest of the week. And the latest long-range guidance, this is for May 16th through May 22nd. Temperatures here pretty close to average. So again, we'll go back to the radar quickly. Again, this is live at 5:26 this morning, and the storms are well behaved so far. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for extreme eastern Jackson, northern DeKalb County, and northeast Alabama. And those are the only warnings in effect for the state. And again, that band of storms will be sagging southward, and there is a tornado watch until 10 this morning for the counties in yellow on that map. And that would be, I think the southernmost counties are Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Cullman, Marshall, and DeKalb. And does not include Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden. And so far, they've just, again, with a linear system like this, I'd say the tornado threat is not especially high. But as always, with this environment, you have to watch it carefully. So this is one of the tornadoes in southern Middle Tennessee last night. This was Prospect, Tennessee, before the sun went down. And you can see Tennessee had a pretty rough ride. Columbia, Tennessee had some major tornado damage, and many other tornadoes touched down. And again, that was Prospect, Tennessee. This was video taken from Coxsey Creek. That's near the Tennessee River, southwest of Athens. And if you look carefully, you can see what seems to be a tornado there near the river. And again, that did produce some damage in the Brigadoon subdivision, which is fairly close to there. This was some video taken from Section up on the mountain looking down towards Scottsboro. Scottsboro had a couple of tornado warnings last night with some damage. I saw some tree damage, at least in Scottsboro. And again, a lot of the damage reports we will not know completely until we get the first light of day here. Because I'm live, it's still dark. Here's another video taken also from Section overlooking the Tennessee River back to the storms north of the river. And the bulk of the tornadoes were north of the Tennessee River. This is some video. This was taken from Athens. Limestone County had multiple tornado warnings last night. And this is some security camera doorbell video from Scottsboro, from one of the storms that came through there. And again, the thing packed a punch. This is a look at some of the damage just east of downtown Huntsville. Huntsville had some trees down and power lines down. And again, whether this was, again, just looking at the video here, most of what you see here, this was just straight line winds. But again, we'll know much more here in a few hours once we get the first light of day. In fact, here's some more damage. This was in downtown Huntsville with some fairly large trees that came down there. And I would say in Alabama last night, the most violent storm of the night was this one. This was a very violent tornado signature that was located near Henniger. And I do know that there's been a lot of damage here, and there's no doubt there was a tornado down because we had the CC drop, the correlation coefficient product showing that little negative spot there in alignment with the velocity couplet. And this is in northern DeKalb County, north of Sylvania, up toward the community of Henniger, north of Fort Payne. And again, once we get the first light of day here, we'll find out much more about that. So again, real quick, we'll go back and take a look at the radar here, 5:30. So far, so good. We've had no big problems this morning. We have one severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the northern part of DeKalb County, extreme eastern Jackson County for the storm segment coming north of Fort Payne. But other than that, we've not seen any discrete development out ahead of that. And if we were to have a tornado, I think it would take that. It's going to be hard to get one within that line of storms. And I know technically there's a tornado watch in effect for parts of North Alabama, but again, so far so good. And again, if you're just joining us, you can go back and watch the replay here. But the basic concept is this. These storms move southward. They'll come down toward Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden around 8, 9 o'clock this morning with a chance of gusty winds. The tornado threat is fairly low here. Not overly concerned about these storms. And the biggest concern is another batch of storms forming tonight into the pre-dawn hours tomorrow, especially south of Interstate 20. And if that can happen, they could be fairly strong. And again, this is high-resolution modeling tonight at 10, showing storms beginning to form south of Interstate 20. And then early tomorrow morning, this is 5 a.m., a big MCS coming through the southern third of the state with a chance of damaging straight-line winds. So again, just be weather aware today. And again, we're going to see a really nice break in this afternoon. Most places with no rain this afternoon and early tonight. And then after 7 or 8 o'clock, the new storms begin to form, and that's when we'll start paying close attention again. So certainly not raining all day. And again, should be a fairly nice afternoon and evening across the state. And again, just good to see everything is kind of behaved here early this morning. So that'll wrap it up here. I have to go run and do some radio and television. For those that are new here, we do these typically twice a day, once in the morning, about 5:15, once about 2:45 in the afternoon. Scheduled to be at Mount Olive Elementary this morning. I told my friends there I'm going to make a firm go, no-go decision about 6:30, whether I'll be able to make it. Then tomorrow I will be in Blount County at Hayden Primary. And then Saturday we have a weather radio programming event and a joint book signing at Trustful Ace Hardware. And that is 11 until 2. And if you need your weather radio check, bring it by. We'll do it. If you need to buy one there. We'll program it on the spot. And we'll have all the books and everything else there as well. I'll be there, of course. So come see us 11 to 2 Saturday. And one quick note before we go. We note here the Weather Service in Birmingham has posted a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Cherokee County. And again, this is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, you can see the yellow polygon here that covers Cherokee County, the northern half of Cherokee County. This would include Center, Leesburg, Galesville, Cedar Bluff, and points north, and also a warning in effect for the northern part of DeKalb County, and that's for that line segment that's coming into those two counties up in northeast Alabama. And this is for the possibility of winds. Let me stop at one time here. We'll take a look at the velocity. And again, we note that, see the little hook trying to form there, again, around Valley Head. And these things might try and rotate. So far, they haven't. And again, if anything happens to develop there, that will be into Georgia pretty soon. But again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that particular segment there. And again, the Weather Service in Birmingham posting a severe thunderstorm warning downstream for the northern part of Cherokee County. But again, that'll do it here. Thank you guys for watching. We'll have the next video briefing by about 2:45 this afternoon. Hope you guys have a marvelous day. Catch us on TV this evening if you can. ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless.